Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome to the Recreation Ground Whitehaven. This is another Centurions on video production. As usual today your cameraman is Fred Parkinson. I'm Dennis Beards with your match commentator, and I'm joined in the commentary position today by young Simon Reynolds. May we apologise in advance if your vision is obscured of this game at any time, but there's not a lot of room here at Whitehaven. This afternoon's match is a Arriva Trains semi-final match between Whitehaven and Leigh Centurions. Leigh have two mascots today, Lauren Seddon, aged 10, and 9-year-old Thomas Worthington. Both these mascots, their favourite players, Tommy Martin and Paul Rowley. I'll just read out the teams for this afternoon, starting with the Whitehaven side. At number 1, Gary Broadbrent. At 2, Jamie Marshall. 3, Wesley Wilson. 4, Nick Nanning. 5, Paul O'Neill. 6, Leroy Joe. 7, Sam Obbs. Your forwards today for Whitehaven: number 8, Dean Vaughan. Number 9, Aaron Lester. Number 10, David Facciolofa. Number 11, Howard Hill. 12, Brett McDermott, and 13, Craig Walsh. On the bench today for Whitehaven are number 14, Chris McKenny, number 15, Carl Seiss, number 16, Graham Morton, and number 7, Mark Jackson. The Leigh line-up this afternoon: at 1, Neil Turley. 2, Steve Madden. 3, Danny Halliwell. 4, Ben Cooper. 5, Damien Monroe. 6, John Duffy. 7, Tommy Martin. And 8, Simon Knox. 9, Paul Rowley. 10, Matt Stern. 11, Dave Larder. 12, Dan Potter, and 13, Ian Knott. I'll give you the subs in a second. Leigh have just kicked off and have got possession right from the kick-off. Knott now on attack on the Whitehaven 10-metre line. Whitehaven having to work hard right from the very beginning of this match, and it's Potter running the ball in, not making any distance, and the referee has given the first penalty of the afternoon for a high tackle on Dan Potter. Whilst there's this break in play, the Leigh subs this afternoon are number 14, Willie Swan. 15, Heath Cruikshank. 16, Richard Marshall, and 17, Oliver Wilkes. And it looks like Neil Turley's going to line up to take the kick. Well, Sam, that was a cracking start from the Leigh outfit there.
Yes, started off very well there. Simon Knox doing very well to stop Whitehaven from getting the ball from the kick-off. And as you said, Neil Turley will go for the 2 points and get Leigh onto the scoreboard very early on. The very strong Leigh line-up coming here all the way up to Whitehaven.
Well, the Whitehaven crowd are doing their best to put Neil Turley off, but I'm sure that won't worry him too much. Turley with the kick. It's high enough, it's long enough, but it's not there. Whitehaven now having to defend very hard on their own line. Leigh will want to keep them up here, force the error, but Leigh have made the error themselves. 2 markers. It's a penalty to Whitehaven, who relieve the line, bring the ball up to about 35 metres. And it's Whitehaven's first outing with the ball now. Run in hard by Dean Vaughan. Dean Vaughan brought down just over the 40.
Facciolofa now. Elbow to the face of Dan Potter. The referee does give no sign at all. Good defence again from the Centurions. Ian not forcing the error there. The referee gives the scrum to the Centurions.
Yes, Simon, Whitehaven not making use of their first possession there, spilling the ball, and it'll be the first head and feed of the afternoon for the Leigh outfit.
Simon Knox is staying out of the scrum. Danny Halliwell fills in at loose forward. Simon Knox takes the drive in, mobbed by 3 Whitehaven defenders. Halliwell now. There's a high shot. The referee puts his hand on his shoulder. Giving him a facial, referee. Potter now. Tackled by Leicester. Knock on given.
Yes, Leigh making the first error there with the handling. Whitehaven will come up with the ball from this scrum. Their head and feet.
From Leicester there to force the error. One scrum apiece. Broadbent there. Good tackle from Martin and Ben Cooper. McDermott now. Martin ankle taps him. On the halfway now, Whitehaven. Penalty given. McDermott had hold of Ryder's shirt. The referee didn't see that either.
Well, Leigh are going to have to watch the discipline this afternoon, because the referee Ashley Klein from London isn't going to take any messing about this afternoon. He's already given a couple of penalties. And Whitehaven now, just inside the Leigh 40. Run the ball up via Dean Vaughan.
Tackle there from Matt Sturm and Simon Knox. Fatty Alofa now. Good tackle once again from Matt Sturm.
Yeah, he's a big man, is Fatty Alofa. He's going to take some getting down this afternoon.
The referee doesn't give crossing there. They clearly did cross. Fatty Alofa did cause Leigh some problems last year. Running forward. Well watched there from Ian Knott. Hobbs tried to get away from him, but couldn't. Leicester now, out to Broadbent. Further out to Walsh. Good defence there from the Centurions.
That looked like a forward pass there, Simon.
Hobbs once again, he puts the kick in play. Picked up well by Turley. Madden's doing well. Madden's not strong enough. The Leigh line didn't help him out at all. Steve Madden was pushed over.
No, Simon, that was good attacking from Whitehaven there. Good piece of play from Whitehaven, forcing the dropout from under the posts. And Tommy Martin will take the dropout. Whitehaven fans getting behind the team on that occasion. And it's Whitehaven running the ball up again. Get to the Leigh 20. Bit slow to get up, get away with it. Dummy there from Brett McDermott, but Leigh don't buy it. Driving back to the point where he started. Whitehaven now running by Fatty Alofa. Fatty Alofa still going. Good strong run from Fatty Alofa. And manages to unship the ball in the tackle. Leigh have got to watch for that. But a stray pass and it's all on. Ben Cooper hacked it on, but it's all on, and it's 6 more. Hobbs now out to Howard Hill. Howard Hill gives it back inside to Wesley Wilson. Wesley Wilson takes on the defence, gets inside the 10, but no way through. Fatty Alofa again going for the line, doesn't make it. Leigh's defence holding good up to now, but it's going out wide to the left. Leroy Joe giving the ball out to Brett McDermott. Sorry, to Craig Walsh. Craig Walsh held just short. And there's a knock on there, but the referee has given offside against Leigh. Will Whitehaven run it, or will they go for the 2 points? What do you think, Simon?
Leigh are stretched either side of the field. Whitehaven doing very well to spin the ball out wide. Leigh are being quite lazy on their own line. They've only got to touch the line with the back foot. And then they're just not getting back, so the penalty has been given to Whitehaven. The penalty count stands 3-1.
I read out on the team sheet that playing at 11 for Whitehaven was Howard Hill and 12 Brett McDermott. I'm reliably informed that they are actually playing the other way around. Howard Hill is number 12 and Brett McDermott is number 11. Whitehaven ready to take the kick. I'm reliably informed by a young lady at the side of me that this is Mick Nanning. I do know it is Mick Nanning, thank you very much. And it looks good from here, but The touch judges say no. Mick Nanning not known for missing kicks, but he's missed this one.
Score still stands at 0-0. 8 minutes on the clock. The Centurions will drop the ball out 20 metres from their own line.
And the referee has given offside against Leigh at the kick-off. That's a terrible mistake from Leigh, and surely Nanning from right in front of the post will open the scoring for Whitehaven. I said earlier, referee Klein will stand for no messing about, and he's certainly got his eyes open this afternoon. Mick Nanning is indeed going to go for the 2. I was just going to say that there was some doubts before the game about the fitness of Martin and Turley, but both are out there on the pitch. I noticed that Turley has his right thigh quite heavily strapped. Nanning lines up the kick. And yes, that's the opening score for Whitehaven on 9 minutes, making the score Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurions 0. And Leigh, when they've had the ball, have looked dangerous, but have been making far too many mistakes at the moment, and it's cost them 2 points, Simon.
Yes, Leigh being too quick off the mark, give the Whitehaven the easy 2 points there. Taylor kicks the ball high up in the air. Simon Knox was took out there, off the ball. The referee says nothing. Broadbent now, he runs at Potter and Knott. He's soon put to the ground. Paul Rowley's in quite early there. Rowley takes a knock in that tackle. Hill now. Whitehaven coming up to the halfway line with Obst. He gives the ball out wide. Vaughan takes a tackle inside the Leigh half. Leicester once again gives the ball to Obst. All the Whitehaven players offside. They will be giving Madden 10 yards at least. Madden runs back. A Whitehaven. Turley at hacked in half now. Dan Potter's going to take this run in. Couple of metres gain there from Potter. Monroe now. Leigh just playing one out rugby. Not breaks away from that tackle.
Very noticeable, Monroe was in support there, if not could have got the ball out to him. I didn't think they were allowed to do that, Simon. Pick them up, but they got away with it.
It's not to pick them up. There's a scrap in the field now. There's referees playing on though, and Dave Larder could be underneath the post. He's took out. Dave Larder will score underneath the post for the Centurions. Either way, the touch judge is on this near side. He's seen what happened with Turley and McDermott.
That was a very enterprising bit of play from Leigh there. But there's a bit of a mystery as to what's been happening. Referee Ashley Klein coming all the way back up here. Wants to have a word with the touch judge to find out what happened.
It was McDermott that threw the first punch.
Is the referee going to disallow this try, Simon?
The referee is going back underneath the post. This is going to be a try, Centurions.
As you quite rightly said, Simon, McDermott threw the first punch.
There's words shared from Turley and McDermott, and McDermott took it on his own back to throw the punch and give the try to the Centurions, and I think he will put McDermott into the bin. No, he calls out the captain, Leicester. He sends Leicester away. He wants to speak to the touch judge once again.
In the meantime, Turley's waiting to take the kick, and out comes the captain again, Aaron Leicester. The referee's going to have a word with him. In the meantime, the try was actually scored by David Larder, even though there was, I think, a little bit of obstruction trying to prevent him getting to the ball. He still managed to scramble through. You don't often see penalty tries in this game, but it's quite possible.
Turley will quite easily take the 2 points on offer.
The Whitehaven crowd all around me and over the far side did not like the referee's decision there at all, but I think it was justified. McDermott threw the first punch. Rowley was defending himself. In the meantime, play went all the way down the field, and that's a conversion for Turley. We're now on almost 14 minutes, and the scoreline now is Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurion 6, and it's bubbling up into a very good match this time.
Yes, the Centurions doing well to get on the scoreboard there. Dave Larder didn't give up at all. He didn't know what had happened behind him. It was a good job he didn't, or else he would have stopped and there would have been no try for the Centurions. Nanning puts the kick up to Martin, then out to Knott. He runs it. That was never on the shoulder, referee.
That was a little higher than that, Simon. It certainly was.
Hill puts a good tackling on Potter now. He takes a nice shot from Leicester, and Leicester dives back on his head. Rolling now to Knott. Rowley once again, out to Sturm. Sturm takes a high shot, the referee sees that one.
That was a definite high tackle from Fatialofa there. Referee right on the spot for that one, blew straight away. Martin with the kick for touch. Finds touch round about the 20.
Halliwell taps the ball, he gives it inside to Duffy, then out to Knott. There's a swinging arm there from Leicester. Sturm now. Rowley out to Duffy. Duffy to Knott. Knott out wide to Madden. Madden drops the ball.
In fairness to Madden there, it wasn't a good pass, but had Madden collected it, I think he would have been in at the corner. Whitehaven with a bit of a let-off there.
The second scrum of the game going to Whitehaven. Hobbs puts the ball in the scrum, gives it to Nanning. Martin drives Nanning back into his own 10. Good tackle there from Martin. McDermott now. Leigh mobbed McDermott. As soon as he touches the ball, he was the one that decided to pick on Neil Turley earlier on in the game. Fatialofa now. He's tackled well from Ian Knott, John Duffy and Dan Potter. Hill now. Whitehaven had the overlap out wide. Hobbs is out of his own 40. McDermott, or should I say Broadbent, is offside. Turley does well. Turley's away. Turley will go underneath the post. Nobody can catch Neil Turley. What do you think of that one, Dennis?
You won't see a better try than that if you watch this match for the next 10 years. That was absolutely unbelievable. A kick through from Hobbs, fielded by Turley. Turley ran straight at the defence, carved through them like they weren't there, pinned his ears back and went for the post. What can I say? That was an absolutely unbelievable try. And the Whitehaven crowd are absolutely stunned. And that poster score at the moment for Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurions 10, and it'll be Turley convert his own try on 17.5 minutes. The Leigh fans behind the posts. totally ecstatic. Turley with his thigh heavily strapped, ready to take the kick. Not a difficult one. And you can hear from the fans behind the post, Turley converted that, and that makes the score now Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurions 12. And like I said, Simon, it's bubbling up into quite some match.
Yes, Turley with the 80-yard effort there, catching the ball on his own 20 and going all the way up underneath the Whitehaven post, converting the goal as well. And Whitehaven to kick back to the Centurions. What a start from the Centurions, 18 minutes on the clock. Well taken there from Martin. Larder to drive the ball in. Larder takes the ball 13 metres away from his own line. Monroe scoots the ball. No speed on Monroe there. Rowley to Turley, then out to Sturm. Sturm drives the ball at Walsh. Knox now. Knox does well. Martin now, deep inside his own 40, puts the ball down the throat of Broadbent. There's a swirling wind here at the recreation ground. And that'll tell why Martin didn't reach his place where he wanted to be there in the kick. Either way, Whitehaven inside the Leigh half now. Good tackle there from Martin. He forced the error.
Leigh got away with their own knock on there, but it would have been a scrum down for Leigh anyway.
It was Martin that forced the error from Vaughan. It was more of a shoulder charge than a tackle attempt. Leigh knock on. McDermott now.
There was no real need for that little interpass on the third tackle. Leigh were making good field position there and should have consolidated it, but in the meantime, Whitehaven bringing the ball back at Leigh, get to halfway. Out to Obbs. Obbs looking to pass to Fatialofa, changes his mind, gets tackled. Run up now again by Vaughan. Vaughan won't want to lose the ball this time. Gets inside the Leigh 40. Now, can Whitehaven hit back, get some points back on the board? That was a good pass.
Leicester lost the ball there in the tackle.
By McDermott.
It's a turnover, the Centurions get the ball. And then Monroe gives a penalty away. Silly play from the Centurions. Monroe done for not playing the ball on that attempt. Obbs gives the ball to Fatialofa. Fatialofa runs at Potter.
Yeah, 2 points is no good for Whitehaven here. They need to try and get some back quickly. That's why they've taken the tap penalty.
Good tackle there from Knox. Leicester at acting half. He gives the ball out wide. McDermott now. McDermott, no steam on the engine there. Obbs now. He gets the ball to Fatialofa. Fatialofa loses the ball. Robin just kicks the ball dead. He didn't want Turley to run 100 yards up the other end of the field to score another try.
Well, the Whitehaven fans can't say they haven't had the chances to put some points on the board this afternoon. They're just making silly mistakes in the last 10 metres. And not quite getting to the line. That ball was ripped out of the tackle, and referee Ashley Klein is bringing play back. Referee had already given the penalty long before the ball was picked up there. And Whitehaven, having got to the Leigh line, give away a stupid penalty. And this is going to cost them distance.
A double substitution for the Centurions. Sturm and Knox taking a rest. Marshall and Cruikshank on the field now. The Centurions on the attack now with Dan Potter. It was picked up, penalty given.
Yes, and justifiably a penalty there, Simon. That was a dangerous tackle, and the referee wants a word with the perpetrator. Wasn't exactly a spear tackle, but it's going to give Turley the opportunity to put some more daylight between the two sides. Referee having yet another word with Leicester.
Turley's going for touch. He's had his orders from Mr. Abram on the touchline. Mr. Abram doing well here at the Centurions. He wants more points on the board. I don't blame him. Cruikshank now. He's tackled well from Hill. Marshall. Marshall's doing well. He's over the line. He's held up.
The referee said he was held up. It's debatable from here. We couldn't really see. The Leigh fans said it was, but then of course they would, wouldn't they? And that should be restart play from 10 metres out, yeah.
Rowley gives the ball out to Duffy. Duffy gives the ball inside to Knott. Knott gets the ball back away to Martin now. Martin gives a pass out wide to Monroe. Zero tackle given.
Touched by a Whitehaven player, that's all on.
Cruikshank drops the ball there. There's the knock on.
To be fair, Simon, the ball was behind Cruikshank. When he collected it, it was very difficult to try and gather that ball, but again, a mistake on the first tackle from Leigh.
Silly play from the Centurions. All they should be doing is playing one-out rugby close to the line until it comes to the third, fourth, or maybe the fifth tackle to power play. Hill now. Good hit there from Marshall. Marshall did well. Nanning now. Nobody wants it from Whitehaven.
And Leigh are trying very hard not to give Whitehaven any room on the play of the ball. They're up very, very quickly on the Whitehaven players, not giving them any room to run or with the ball.
Cooper's stuck right in the field. He's pulling them out now. If Whitehaven were to come out, Monroe will field this ball, and he juggled with it there for a second. Good tackle from Broadbent there. Turley now. Madden gains 10 yards on that attempt.
It's noticeable now, Simon, that Whitehaven have 3-4 men on Turley every time he gets the ball. They know he's a danger man.
Yes, Turley, a well-marked man now for the Centurions.
Well, that could mean them leaving gaps elsewhere in the defence, though, Simon.
They could swing it wide now. Cooper has to kick it. Cooper gets the ball away to Martin. Martin puts the ball out wide. Turley's in for another try. The referee has given it again.
Yes, touchdown by Turley following the chip through from Martin. Turley has scored so many tries this season from that movement, and he scored yet another. Turley in danger of winning the match on his own.
Well sighted from Martin. He's coming to the touchline to speak to his coach. Scoreline now, Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurions 16. Turley could make the points up to 18 with this conversion.
And Turley will have scored 14 of them himself. Whitehaven in disbelief, can't believe what's happened, because early in the season Leigh came up here and were defeated by the Whitehaven outfit. Leigh looking a totally different side today, and Whitehaven certainly know they've been in a game in this opening 27 minutes. This will open a 16-point gap, and Whitehaven already have to score 3 times to get back into this game. It's not impossible. Leigh did it 2 weeks ago against Halifax when they were trailing by 16 points with seconds left in the first half and walked away with the second half and won easily in the end. And Turley has converted that hoist the scoreline now to Whitehaven 2, Leigh Centurions 18. And Whitehaven are going to have to cut out these errors if they're going to get anything from this match.
28 minutes on the clock. Centurions leading 18-2. Nanning to kick the ball back to the Centurions. He's done this quite often in this game. Marshall to run back at the Whitehaven. He's tackled on his own 20-metre line. Monroe scoots the ball. Monroe has no urgency about his scooting the ball out. Duffy out wide to Cruikshank. Cruikshank does well.
I'm not sure that Monroe's fully fit from his pulled hamstring a couple of weeks ago, Simon.
He's earned his place in the side. Tommy Martin puts the ball out into touch.
Yes, I think
to Whitehaven.
I think he was looking for a 40-20, but it was woefully short.
With this swirling wind, Dennis, I don't think you can attempt 40-20s as well as you could on other grounds.
No, but our kicking game last week and the week before against Halifax was turning the opposing side round, and they were having to spend long periods in their own half. As is happening today when Whitehaven have attacked, they've looked dangerous.
Marshall and Cruikshank, the penalty's given, I don't know what for.
Played for and got, Simon.
That was a perfectly fair tackle from the two prop forwards of the Centurions. Hobbs will put the ball into touch. He led with the elbow there.
That was a high tackle, Simon, but 50-50 there. Referee was a fair decision.
They got quicker to play the ball because they're 5 yards back, that's why. Doing the job, in the ball. That's some fair commentary.
Complaints from the fans around me about biased commentating. I try to give as fair and balanced a view as I can. I only say what I see. Fatia Loafer now running the ball in. No way through for him. And it's the sub Graham Morton. Graham Morton takes them on. Tackle on the 10-metre line. Run up now by Aaron Lester. Aaron Lester.
Penalty given to the Centurions.
10 yards back, referee. Come on.
Was that for crossing, Simon? I didn't quite see that.
Yes, it was. And then Whitehaven give back chat to the referee and give the Centurions an extra 10 yards.
Get them back 10 yards, referee. Come on. Can you count to 10?
Cruikshank now. He bounces off McDermott. Rowley gives the ball out to Marshall. Marshall's tackled well there. Duffy now gives the ball out to Knott. Rowley back inside to Duffy. Duffy to Marshall. Marshall's still going.
Was looking for the support, Simon, and there wasn't any there. Rowley scoots from acting halfback, gives the ball to supporting Duffy, who gives the ball to Knott. Knott wrapped up by the fullback, but the ball's still going and it's intercepted. This must be Whitehaven's chance of a score. But Monroe is tracking him down. Is he going to catch him? I don't think so. And that's going to be a brilliant 100-metre try from Whitehaven. As soon as that ball was intercepted, you just knew that it was going to be a cracking try by Whitehaven. Good attempt from Monroe, but Monroe was never going to get near enough. Leigh guilty of trying to keep the ball alive there. Spotted by the Whitehaven winger, who took it 95 metres to score, to hoist the first try for Whitehaven on 33 minutes. And there's a Leigh player down injured in back play. I'm not sure who it is. It looks like Rowley from here.
Rowley.
It doesn't look so good from here. In the meantime, Mick Nannin is looking to make the conversion from the brilliant interception try.
Nannin will attempt the 2 points.
Rowley's up on his feet, looks a bit shaken, but we'll soon find out how bad it is. Nannin with the successful conversion. That makes the score now Whitehaven 8, Leigh Centurions 18. 7 minutes to go to the break. Whitehaven make a decisive score with 7 minutes to go before half time. And Leigh will have to kick off. Rowley limping, looks like he can't carry on. He's already signalled to the bench that he can't carry on, and that's a blow for Leigh. Rowley very instrumental as a playmaker, having to leave the pitch.
I think they've already made the change.
And Leigh make a very bad schoolboy error there, hoist the ball into the wind and the ball drifts harmlessly into touch, and Whitehaven will have the penalty on halfway. And we'll look to
count is now 7 apiece.
Well, they'll be lucky to get some more points back, Simon, to narrow this gap before half time.
Centurions have got to be on the guard now. Whitehaven are on a roll. Mark Jackson eventually tackled by Willie Swan in the end. The Centurions are stretched.
And as I suspected, Whitehaven, with the tails between the legs, get an interception try, and suddenly the heads are up. And as I said, when Leigh made the mistake from the kick-off, Whitehaven would look to convert this to points, and that was proved right yet again. The score now is Whitehaven 12, Leigh 18, with the conversion to come. And there are still 5 minutes left in this half. Can Whitehaven turn a 16-point deficit around before half-time? This will narrow the gap to 4 points, and Whitehaven are on the ascendancy at the moment. Paul Rowley has had to go off for Leigh, an able replacement from Willie Swan, but the Leigh defence was found wanting there, and Whitehaven took full advantage of it. Nannin with the conversion attempt, which is successful. Whitehaven now only trail by 4 points, having been 16 points behind, have hit back with 12 points in less than 5 minutes, and Leigh are on the right now, Simon.
Yes, Leigh have got to come back at the Whitehaven now. Whitehaven are on a roll. Turley puts the kick in field of play now, out to Leicester. Word shared from Leicester and Martin in that tackle. Martin picks up McDermott. Knock on given.
The linesman signalled that. Leigh were looking at the linesman. The linesman signalled that it was a knock on. I couldn't see it from where I was, but the linesman was far better positioned than me. The result is scrum down to Leigh, a little bit of relief from the pressure. What Leigh need to do now is put a passage of 6 together. And Cruikshank has dropped the ball on the first tackle. What's happened to Leigh in the last 10 minutes? The sharp play, the discipline is all gone out of the window, and Leigh have put themselves back under pressure yet again. referee Mr. Klein wants to scrum down properly. Leigh have certainly gone to sleep in the last 10 minutes, and Whitehaven are hitting them back with everything, getting up to halfway. Run up now by the sub, Chris McKennie gets just inside Leigh territory.
He's going to work hard now for the Centurions to make up for that mistake. That was on the shoulder, says the referee.
Monroe just managing to get that ball and keep it out of touch, despite the attention of Jamie Marshall, who seemed to be trying to get there.
Good run in there from Cooper. Potter now. Cruikshank takes a high shot in that tackle. Penalty given.
Swan trying roll his old trick there, running at the offside man and getting the penalty. Martin raking kick down the touchline, gets inside the Whitehaven 35. Run up now by Richard Marshall. Marshall takes him on, shakes off one tackle, but there's no way past Obst. Willie Swan now to Duffy, on to Cruikshank. Cruikshank hits hard, lays the ball off out of the tackle, gives the ball to Willie Swan. Willie Swan scoots away, gets up to the 10-metre line. What can Leigh do from this? Turley gives the ball to Duffy. Duffy inside ball to Knott. Knott turns round, tries to make a few more precious metres, gets to about 5. Swan attacked in half-back, ball with Duffy, little chip through from Duffy, has to be hit dead by the fullback Gary Broadbent, and that will be a line dropout. And
with
we've got
stoppage time.
I make that full time. We're in the lap of the timekeepers.
I think there'll be one more tackle after this dropout.
And Whitehaven in no hurry to restart, but referee Mr. Klein has stopped the clock.
Whitehaven are hoping for the half-time Utu as soon as possible. I think there will be one more tackle. No, there will be more than one tackle. Marshall now. Marshall's doing well. If Leigh could get a couple more points on the board just before half-time, the heads will be high.
Even a drop goal would help here, Simon.
Duffy now. Duffy puts the kick in. And Leigh are in for another try.
It looks like Danny Halliwell has scored in the corner. Yes, referee Klein has given it. Duffy with the little chip through. Halliwell following up. And Halliwell on the stroke of half-time gets a vital 4 points to make the score. Whitehaven 14, Leigh Centurions 22. Whitehaven have had the best of certainly the best of the last 15 minutes of play and look like getting the deficit back, but right at the death of half-time, Leigh have restored some respectability, making the score currently Whitehaven 14, Leigh Centurions 22. And I'm sure after this conversion the half-time hooter will be sounded. It's a question of how much Leigh will miss Paul Rowley in the second half, whether Rowley can continue after a bit of treatment on the bench. I for one don't think he can, but Willie Swan,
as I said, Leigh needs a couple more points. They come up with the goods.
Willie Swan is a very able deputy for Rowley, but they may have to reshuffle the pack round a little in the second half. Turley about to take the kick. Looks at the posts, points the hand, takes the kick. Is it good? The linesmen say it is. That's a vital conversion from the touchline, and as I thought, that's the half-time hooter straight after that kick. That leaves the score at half-time at Whitehaven 14, Leigh Centurions 24. Please join us again after the break. on 8 minutes, so what's work?
Hello and welcome back to the recreation ground for this National League league tie between the Whitehaven Warriors and the Leigh Centurions. The Centurions are already back on the field. The Whitehaven are just coming out on to the field right now. In the first half alone there was 8 penalties to the Centurions, 7 penalties to the Whitehaven Warriors, 1 scrum to the Centurions, 3 to the Whitehaven. Leigh knocked the ball on 6 times. Whitehaven only knocked the ball on 4 times, and there were 2 dropouts to the Centurions and 1 to the Whitehaven Warriors. The half-time scores we left you. The half-time scores we left you was Whitehaven 14, Leigh 24. The game has just got underway. It was Marshall to take the first drive in. And now Potter, he takes a big hit from Walsh. Not now. Swan gives the ball to Cruikshank.
That was a forward pass, but neither of the linesmen saw it. Leigh got away with that one. Martin with the kick now. Deep, raking kick. I think that's too deep. First bounce into the fence. That'll be the restart on the 20 for Whitehaven.
If Martin kicks like that in this second half, there should be quite a few 40-20s coming from the Centurions. Whitehaven on the attack now. McKenny lost the ball there.
Yes, Whitehaven making mistakes again early on in the piece. Willie Swan now taking them on. Meets Aaron Lester, who brings him down on the 25. Duffy, short pass to Knott. And another forward-looking pass, but again Leigh get away with it. Swan gives the ball to Duffy. Duffy out to Martin. Martin chips. That's kicked dead by the winger Jamie Marshall, and it'll be another line dropout from under the posts.
Marshall didn't want anything to do with that. He just got the ball away as soon as he could.
Yes, he could perhaps have shepherded it dead, but there were too many Leigh players coming down on him. Didn't want to make a mistake. Ball running now by Cruikshank. Cruikshank takes them on. Gets just short of the 30, loses his skull cap in the process. Martin now. Out to Dave Larder.
Well there.
He certainly did. He slipped the first tackle. Swan now running at them, gets to the 10. Madden over here on the right touchline screaming for it, but it goes down the short side. Ben Cooper takes it in.
Steve Madden, the winger on this right hand side, is screaming for the ball. Turley steps inside the first. It's the 5th and last. Duffy puts the ball in. Martin was just unlucky there.
It's a line drop out, Simon. The Whitehaven player touched it.
Yes, I think it was Wilson that got the ball away there, dead in goal. Centurions putting good pressure on the Whitehaven. Nanning puts the drop out right into the arms of Neil Turley. Good tackle on Cruikshank there.
Yeah, it's noticeable he's left his skull cap off.
Good running there from Dan Potter. He bounced off the first tackle. Swan now, out to Duffy. Duffy puts the kick in. Martin went for the big hit there, but missed.
Good defence from Jamie Marshall there. Cool head. managed to hold on to the ball, and Whitehaven now inside their own 10. Leigh want to keep them there.
Whitehaven would to spread it wide now. They will have the overlap.
And Whitehaven taking a leaf out of Rowley's book there, running at the man offside. Offside man, no choice but to tackle him, and gives away the penalty. Kick for touch. That's a good kick. It brings Whitehaven up to about 43. Aaron Lester with the restart. Gives the ball to Chris McKennie. Chris McKennie tackled. Short pass there now to Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, strong running. Gets to inside onto the Leigh 40. Run away from acting halfback by Lester. Lester looking for the gap. There isn't one. Brought down on the 30. This is good pressure from Whitehaven. Looking for the gap. Obst doesn't find it, but gets up to the 20. Run away from acting halfback by Jackson. Jackson takes them on. Gets to the 10. They're on the last tackle. What will Whitehaven do here? On the short side. There's no way through. And the Leigh defence hold firm. And I think that's probably the first turnover of the match.
Penalty given to the Centurions. Good decision from the referee. There's a penalty to Leigh there for the high tackle. And Turley will kick the ball into touch.
Some confusion with the team sheet here. The substitutes are not wearing the numbers that we read out earlier on. Number 17 I was reading out as Mark Jackson, I'm told is Chris McKennie, and McKennie is playing 16. So pardon us if we don't quite get the names right. Willie Swan now gives the ball out to Dan Potter. Screams from Whitehaven for a forward pass. I think for once the linesman got it right. It was forward. And Leigh wasting good field position. Willie Swan complaining to the referee, but he's nothing to complain about. The ball was forward, and Leigh have given away good field position early on again in the tackle count. And it'll be Whitehaven with the scrum on halfway. Out by Obst to Walsh, who takes the tackle. Run up by the fullback. Gary Broadbent makes a couple of metres. Whitehaven now in the Leigh half. Take it forward. Good run there from Wilson. Obst again giving the ball to McKennie. McKennie getting inside the 40. Lester from acting halfback takes the ball up. Short pass. Was that a forward pass? I don't think the referee's going to see it that way, and that's a try for Whitehaven. That's the opening score of the second half from Brett McDermott. With the break, gives the ball out to the supporting Whitehaven player, and Whitehaven opened the scoring in the second half with 7 minutes on the watch. That narrows the score now to Whitehaven 18, Leigh Centurions 24, with the conversion from Nanning to come. Leigh probably architects of their own disaster there, wasting good field position with a silly forward pass from the resultant scrum. Whitehaven pressed the Leigh defence, and the Leigh defence cracked under pressure out on the left, which has resulted in really an easy 4 points for Whitehaven, and probably 6, and that will narrow the gap to 4 points if Nanning is successful. Leigh really need to cut out these errors and tighten up on the defence, otherwise a game that they could have had won in the first half will slip away from them, and Whitehaven are in no mood to lie down. Whitehaven want to get this lead. Whitehaven want to win this game with a place in the final of the Arriva Trains Cup at stake. Both teams want it, but who wants it the most? And it'll be Turley with the restart. Deep kick out by Turley. And it's a bad mistake on defence there from Jamie Marshall. Plenty of time to field that ball. Had nothing really to do but pick it up and spilled possession. That will be a scrum on the 10 The head and feed to Leigh. Leigh, stung, will want to get the 6 points back and to re-establish the lead. But there's plenty of time left in this game. Referee not happy with the scrum, wants it taken again.
Leigh have got the overlap.
Knott came away from the base of the scrum there, gets to about 3 metres short. Sturm trying to drive the ball on, gets nowhere. Leigh would be better served to put the ball out wide here. Marshall just
did well there.
Yeah, he just managed to hang on to that ball which was round his bootstraps. Got back to the gain line. Martin now slips the tackle, slips the ball out the back door. Whitehaven spot it. Good defence there from Whitehaven. Leigh, little chip kick through from Turley. Well taken in the end by Craig Walsh. Duffy and Larder were waiting for him to make the mistake, but he didn't, and it's yet another line drop out for Whitehaven. Leigh applying the pressure, but if they haven't come up with the points, Whitehaven on the one, attacking to Leigh's half, have come away with 6. Run up now by Matt Sturm. Well met by Chris McKinney on the 30.
Ian Knott now, he drives the ball forward. Matt Sturm now, he gets passing the ball on to Richard Marshall. He's picked up and dropped on his back. Martin now. Martin has Cooper. Cooper has Monroe. Monroe's in the corner for a try for the Centurions.
Leigh were very lucky to get away with that. I thought that was a forward pass and the play should have been brought back, but neither linesman saw it. The referee was in position, he didn't see it. Leigh were very lucky there, but the points are on the board. The referee isn't going to change his mind now. Leigh very lucky there, Simon, to get away with that.
Yes, Leigh very, very lucky in the corner, but every try counts. No doubt the referee will make another mistake in this game. He's only human, so everybody has to make mistakes in life.
I think everybody in the ground saw that forward pass except the 3 officials, Simon. And it's their decision that counts.
The referee stops to watch.
If Leigh are to win this match by a short margin, it will all pivot on that decision by referee Mr. Klein, Simon.
Turley could make the margin up to 10 points once again.
Whitehaven coming back up to take the kick-off. Strangely in no hurry, which is odd considering that at this stage they are 8 points behind. But with only 13 minutes on the watch, with another 27 minutes to play, and an exciting 27 minutes in prospect. Nanning with a very deep kick there, taken ably by Duffy. Run up now by Marshall. Marshall tackled on his own 15. Duffy waiting to play the ball from acting halfback. Gone there since Rowley went off injured. Whitehaven want these points back. Coming up on the ball play very, very quickly. And that was a good tackle from Leroy Joe. Martin with the relieving kick. Kicks it deep between the full-back and the right wing, Paul O'Neill. Full-back Broadbent picks it up. Takes on the Leigh defence. Danny Halliwell up to the tackle. Tackles him just outside the 20. Run up now by winger O'Neill, but can't get any real distance. Nanning now takes them on. Tries to bounce out the tackle, but Marshall hangs on to him. Run up now by Fatiolofa. Whitehaven getting to the Leigh 40. Broadbent shakes off a half tackle from Halliwell, but it's the last tackle, and that's a Good kick from the full-back. It's picked up by Madden. Madden takes on Obst. Doesn't quite get the better of him. Brought down on 10 metres. Turley goes to acting half-back. Gives the ball to Munro. Munro, for once, looking like he wants the ball. Fans claiming for a knock-on from Martin there. Could well have been. But Leigh get away with it yet again. And Martin, with a raking, very, very deep kick down into the Whitehaven corner. Broadbent has to run a long way back to take it. Ben Cooper pushing a Whitehaven player out of the way, wants to tackle Broadbent and does. It's Jamie Marshall now taking the ball up. Well, Simon, it's up and down rugby at the moment.
Yes, it's end-to-end stuff here at the recreation ground. Willis won though with an awesome tackle. Fatialofa now. He gets the ball away. Whitehaven getting the ball out wide now. Good hit there from Martin on Broadbent. Leicester now. Leicester gets the ball away to Hill. Hill gets the ball away. Whitehaven have the overlap. Manning's on the inside. Knock on given by the referee.
Well, Simon, that's a 6-pointer gone begging. Whitehaven could and should easily have scored there, but Nanning panicked slightly with the pass, laid the ball out slightly too high, and Whitehaven spilled the ball, and Leigh will breathe a real sigh of relief there.
Yes, lazy play there from the Centurions.
I fancied Nanning could have scored that himself if he'd hung on to the ball, but he laid out the pass. It wasn't a good pass, the ball was spilled, and it's 6 points. Gone begging on the floor. Run out now by Ben Cooper.
Larder now. Leigh have got to press forward. Play the rugby inside the Whitehaven half.
Yes, and Leigh can't take the foot off the pedal for 1 second. Whitehaven very dangerous on attack. Whitehaven always threatening. Could and should have scored there, and Leigh know it. Duffy now.
In there from Duffy. Turley screaming for the ball. Takes it to Martin. Martin puts the kick over the top. Penalty given to Whitehaven. Welch didn't.
Yes, the Leigh players encroaching offside actually. Didn't give Nanning the room to run and were therefore penalised. Leigh have it all to do again on defence. They must keep this Whitehaven attack out. Fatialofa over on the ball.
Overrun that there. Whitehaven on the halfway line now. Hill running well there.
Hill's played well since he came back on, Simon. Good strong running. And as I said, Leigh cannot take the foot off the gas for 1 second. Whitehaven are in again. Good try there from the scrum half Obst. Whitehaven will not lie down. Whitehaven want this game. Whitehaven are coming back at Leigh. And Leigh went to sleep for 1 second, and Whitehaven are going to make them pay for it. This, because Neil Turley missed the last conversion, will bring the gap back to 2 points. At the moment, the score is Whitehaven 24, Leigh Centurions 28, and with another 22 minutes left in this match, Leigh's defence beginning to look very shaky under some strong Whitehaven running. Nanning with the conversion. No real difficulty with that, and that narrows the gap now to Whitehaven 26 points, Leigh Centurions 28, and it's game on for the last 21 minutes. Anyone can win this game now. Leigh have had the chances to put it to bed. Whitehaven had chances to get the game back. have spilled some easy chances, but have continued to come back at Leigh and are really pressing to get the noses in front. And who knows, if they get the noses in front, what will happen? Leigh really do need to re-establish their lead, but you can't see them doing it just for the moment. Whitehaven will really press hard now, and are doing so in the shape of Dean Vaughan. Fatty Loafer now drives hard at the defence, gets to his own 40 before he's brought down, needs 3 tacklers. Run at the defence by Leroy Joe. Joe gets just inside the half, but referee Klein giving Leigh offside. Leigh are making too many mistakes, Simon, and are going to give this game away if they're not careful. Yes, they've got to be strong, and they know they've got 2 points ahead on the Whitehaven. Whitehaven get the penalty. The fans really want Whitehaven to press forward and get more points. You do sense, Simon, if Whitehaven get their noses in front, they'll not let this lead go. Leigh letting Fatty Loafer spin in the tackle and letting him get the ball free on occasions. Not that time though. And again, Whitehaven on the attack, lose the ball. Got the penalty. Referee Mr. Klein's given another penalty for offside. I can't see why. Will Whitehaven go for goal and try to get the scores level, or will they run it and try to get the noses in front? It looks like they're going to run the ball, Simon. No, Nanning's been given the ball. I think that's sensible. There's plenty of time left, and this will level the scores for Whitehaven. Whitehaven on the ascendancy at the moment, and if they can get level, we'll surely be looking to get in front and win this game. They've had plenty of opportunity to do so. Leigh have given them quite a few chances, certainly in this second half. And Leigh are certainly missing Rowley on attack, lacking that extra bit of punch on attack. Nanning with the kick. And that's put the scores level. The score now is Whitehaven 28, Leigh Centurions 28. And we are 22 minutes into the second half. 18 minutes left for Leigh to get a stranglehold on this game, and for Whitehaven to get a stranglehold on this game. Well, Simon, it's all on now. Centurions being very lazy. They've got to step up the gear once again. The gear that they was in at the start of the game. Well, Leigh started the game at 100 miles an hour. Whitehaven weren't in it for the first 25 minutes. And Leigh are giving away silly penalties now, and referee Ashley Klein, I think that's the 4th penalty against Leigh in as many minutes. Leigh really do need to get their act together. They're in great danger of losing this game. Whitehaven on the attack now, just inside their own half. Joe hacked in half, he gives the ball to Fatty Loafer. Fatty Loafer Centurions defending. And Obst, who was a doubt before this game, it's been a thorn in Leigh's side in this second half, but Whitehaven on the last tackle. That was an and the referee has given a penalty against Leigh for offside. Nanning's kick was charged down, and referee Mr. Klein has certainly got it up in for Leigh in this last 5 minutes. Another penalty in a very kickable position for Whitehaven. I'm sure Nanning will take this kick and put Whitehaven's noses in front. For the first time in 64 minutes of this game, yes, Nanning is going for the kick. As I said, if he converts it, this will give Whitehaven the lead. And at the moment, deservedly so. They're playing better than Leigh in this second half. Rowley are certainly missing. Leigh are certainly missing Rowley in this half. Seem to be at 6s and 7s on defence. The midfield triangle not clicking without Rowley, although Swan has been a good substitute. It's just not quite happening. Nanny now with the kick. Plenty of pressure on this kick, but makes it look easy, and that puts Whitehaven in front for the first time in this game. The score now is Whitehaven 30, Leigh 28, and Leigh, from having a 16-point lead in the first half, now trail by 2 points and have it all to do. Whitehaven piling the pressure on, Leigh unable to handle it, and it's going to make an interesting last quarter of this game, and that's another mistake by Whitehaven, but this time the linesman says the ball went backwards. Whitehaven bringing the ball up, running strongly. Every player in the Whitehaven team wants this ball. Wesley Wilson making good distance there. Scooting away from acting halfback Jamie Marshall, but Martin spots him. Doesn't let him get anywhere. Run up by Fatia Loafer. Fatia Loafer running strongly, gets to his own 40, but they're on the last tackle. Obst with the kick. Monroe lets it drift harmlessly into touch, just near the 30. On about 28 metres, Leigh will have the ball. Need to put a set of 6 together, put some pressure on Whitehaven. Relieve this relentless pressure that Whitehaven have been putting on Leigh in the last 15 minutes. Whitehaven have used the substitutions well, and here comes one for Leigh. Knox back on the pitch. Turley at acting halfback wants to get on with the game. Suspiciously looked like a knock on. Referee Klein says it came off the foot. Leigh get away with it again.
Penalty given to the Centurions.
And this time the referee Klein has blown for lying on at the play of the ball. I think he wants this penalty taken again. The Leigh players arguing amongst themselves now. That's a good deep kick from Turley. Takes Leigh onto the Whitehaven 40. Leigh need to put an attack together. Matt Stern now takes a high one from Howard Hill, but he shakes it off. Simon Knox taking a slightly forward pass, but forward it was. Willie Swan now scoots away from acting halfback, tries to get away from Kyle Sice, gets just short of the 20. Duffy now to Turley. Turley out to Martin. Martin skips out of a weak tackle, gives the ball to Danny Halliwell. Danny Halliwell with a rare run. Martin now gives the ball to Knox. Knox looking at the line, doesn't collect the ball, and Leigh are playing like a completely different team than they were in the first half, and if they lose this game they've only got themselves to blame, Simon.
Yes, they have. It's like schoolboy rugby. Oh, on the training pitch, not playing together as a team. Good tackle there from Halliwell. Halliwell doing well there in defence. Turley doing well there.
Turley got a high one from Nanning there. Turley doesn't like it. Nanning doesn't like the decision, but
Nanning put the elbow in on Turley's lip. That's why Turley's lip's bleeding.
I don't think it was an elbow, Simon, but it certainly was a high tackle, and the referee wants to defuse this situation. He's going to have a word with Nanning. Turley needs to keep his discipline, not get drawn into this. Has been a little hot-headed in the past. Obviously didn't like that tackle, but should leave it to referee Mr. Klein to sort out. The referee has called out the Whitehaven captain, Aaron Lester, as well, has put that incident on report. The crowd this afternoon of 2,400. Quite a few people have made the journey north from Leigh. Good long penalty from Leigh there. Leigh have 11 minutes to get something out of this game. Are only behind by 2 points, but behind they are. Leigh now inside the Whitehaven 30.
Wilkes now. Wilkes taking Leigh onto the Whitehaven 20. Swan to Knott. No one backing Knott up there. He spun in the tackle, he could have got the ball away. Duffy now. Duffy to Martin. Martin to Turley. Turley sidesteps the first from Fatty Loafer. Claims for a voluntary tackle there. Knott now. Knott to Wilkes. Wilkes to Halliwell. Halliwell doing well. He takes the tackle. Martin now. Fatty Loafer went for the kick. Turley now. Turley over the top. He bounces. Bad for the Centurions, but Fatty Loafer should be told off the referee for trying to kick Martin.
Had that ball bounced kindly, there were 3 Leigh players waiting to play that ball, and that would have given them the lead back, but it wasn't to be. And Leigh come away pointless. Whitehaven now, ready to restart on the 20. Turley receiving treatment in back play. Has to go off. Bleeding from the mouth, that's a blood bin. Dan Potter to replace him temporarily. Madden will go to fullback. In the meantime, Whitehaven bringing the ball back at Leigh. Fatty Loafer now. Driving the ball in. Needs 3 Leigh men to stop him. Size from acting halfback. Giving the ball to Hill. Hill not giving any quarter. Brought down on his own 40. Size again at acting halfback. Long ball to Obst. Obst out to Dean Vaughan. Dean Vaughan gets back to the 40-metre line. Aaron Lester at acting halfback. Runs the ball at Leigh. No way through. Met by Sturm and Wilkes. But gets to halfway. Kick through there from Carl Sice towards the corner. Monroe will pick it up. Gives the ball to Madden. Doesn't take them on himself. I think Monroe's still carrying an injury. Madden left in no man's land, nowhere to go. Monroe gives the ball out again now. This time to Dan Potter. Leigh trapped on their own 10. Monroe takes them on for once. Brought down easily after about 5 metres. Leigh need to get some space on this ball. Knott leading by example. Gets to 25 metres, but Leigh are running out of tackles rapidly. Martin, Shirley with the relieving kick. Deep bomb out to the wing. Winger Paul O'Neill catches it easily, runs it back at the Leigh defence. Tackled by, for me, Leigh's man of the match, Danny Halliwell. Nanning now runs it back. Oliver Wilkes with a high tackle there. Nanning stays down, looks for the penalty, isn't going to get it, but Wilkes went in high there. And it looks like Nanning swallowed his tongue. No, he hasn't. He gets up. The physio that made theirs, who was trying to get his tongue out of his mouth, made it look worse than it was. But it's a play of the ball. Run up again by Dean Vaughan. Whitehaven now in Leigh territory. Obst gives the ball out to Lester. Lester straightens up, tries to take the Leigh defence on. Leigh hold firm. It's the last tackle. What will Whitehaven do here? Obst kicks for the corner. Good strong kick. Monroe shepherds it into touch. Keeps Jamie Marshall at bay. Had Whitehaven scored that, you'd sense that was all. It was it for Leigh. Leigh have 7 minutes left. They're on their own 10-metre line. Well, Simon, Leigh have got a lot to do now.
Yes, Leigh have got to go up the other end of the field. We've only got 7 minutes to come up with the goods. Not now. Steve Madden to scoot the ball. He gives the ball to Matt Sturm. Matt Sturm takes a high shot. Madden once again. Ian Knott now.
And Leigh just can't get out of their own half. Whitehaven just aren't letting them. Whitehaven playing like tigers, really want this game, sense victory, are looking for it. Leigh trapped in their own half on the last tackle. Relieving kick from Turley, who's back on the pitch, but it will go tamely to the fullback, Gary Broadbent, who will run it back at Leigh. And he's met by Munro. Munro tackles him on the Whitehaven 40. Whitehaven already back almost to Leigh's halfway line, and Leigh have got to get this ball back, Simon.
Yes, they need to force the error.
And they need to force it quickly before they lose any more territory.
It's only 6 minutes left for Leigh to score a try.
And of course for Whitehaven to score, Simon. Whitehaven are certainly in this game as well. And have outplayed Leigh in this half.
Yes, Leigh leading 24-14. And Whitehaven coming up and could pick Leigh at the post. 30 points to 28 is the scoreline so far. Scrum down to the Centurions on their own 20-metre line. Martin puts the ball in the scrum. Wilkes now. He runs up Broadbent. Sturm. He does well. The skipper Ian Knott driving the ball. Leigh just inside their own half now. Willis won now. Penalty given.
And this will be the first time for several minutes that Leigh will have got into the Whitehaven half. Leigh have got to come away with some points from this move. Referee Klein giving Whitehaven offside at a crucial point in the tackle count there. Matt Sturm drives the ball up to the Whitehaven 20. Now, can Leigh get something out of this? Knox now with the ball. Won't want to drop it this time. Drives at the line. Gets almost to the 10-metre line. Willie Swan now. Duffy. Diagonal run, giving the ball to Halliwell. Halliwell turning in the tackle. Gets the ball down, but I think he's short. Yes, he's certainly short. And that's a poor pass, but Sturm collects it, gives the ball to Martin. Martin looking to pass, dummies, and he's in! Martin has scored! That's driven the Leigh fans ecstatic, and the Whitehaven fans are stunned. And against a run of play, Leigh have got the lead back. From an outrageous dummy from Martin, he's been doing it all season. Whitehaven fall for it, and Leigh get the noses back in front. With 3 minutes left on the watch, the score 9 now. It's Whitehaven 30, Leigh 32. And despite all the pressure, all the tries from Whitehaven, Leigh, almost at the death, have managed to get the noses back in front. If Leigh win this, they certainly walked on water this afternoon.
That is too lucky for the Centurions there.
It was all set up over this side where Danny Halliwell drew in the Whitehaven defence, and Whitehaven left a lot of room out over on their right. Tommy Martin exploited it, and with a typical Martin try, got the ball down. Turley will want to kick this to make a 4-point gap with 2 minutes plus stoppage time left on the watch. Will Leigh be able to hold out the inevitable Whitehaven onslaught? Even though they do get the ball back from the kick-off, Leigh will need to complete the set of 6 and get the ball back deep into Whitehaven territory. Turley with the conversion attempt, and he kicks it. The Leigh fans behind the posts acknowledge the good kick from Turley, and Whitehaven now surely will try the onside kick, not warning the Leigh players to be ready for it. Whitehaven will not kick this ball deep.
Whitehaven will be looking for the short 10. They do. Turley does well there.
That catch, Simon, could possibly...
Penalty given.
And the referee has given a voluntary tackle against Leigh. That's disgusting, Mr. Klein. That was a brilliant catch from Turley. And Whitehaven now back on the attack on the Leigh 30. Now, can Leigh hold them out? This is one of the most exciting last few minutes I've seen this season. And we're in the last minute. Can Leigh hold Whitehaven out? How much stoppage time do Whitehaven have? Over to you, Simon.
Yes, brilliant tackle there from Oliver Wilkes. Whitehaven on the attack now. Leigh have got to be strong. They're on their own line.
Referee Klein will surely stop the clock for this injury to Turley.
No, it's not Neil Turley.
Tommy Martin. Tommy Martin. Getting up on his knees. Being booed by Whitehaven. Leigh get a chance to get the breath back there. Fatio Loafer trying to get through. Desperate Leigh defence hanging on to him. He gets inside the 10. Whitehaven want to score here. Desperate. Referee gives a penalty. Whitehaven, one last chance. I make it full time. It's in the hands of the timekeepers. Goes for the dive through, but Leigh hold him out. I thought for a second he got the ball down, but he didn't. Leigh hold him out. Whitehaven scrappy play the ball there, but still have the ball, but have lost 7 or 8 metres. Leigh will desperately want to hold Whitehaven out. And it's a lost ball from the loose forward, Craig Walsh. What will the referee give here? Referee says it's a dropout under the posts. That ball was lost forward, but the referee says Leigh kicked the ball dead, and it's a dropout from under the post for Leigh. Meantime, time is being eaten. I make it 1 minute already after full time. Tommy Martin, you'll be sure he'll kick this one deep. Leigh will be up quickly. Want to keep Whitehaven out. Run up now by Dean Vaughan. Good strong run, but Leigh stop him on the 30. Whitehaven running out of time. How much stoppage time is left? Fatio Loafer tries to break the defence, tries to feed the ball out, but Leigh are waiting for him. Leigh needs to stretch it across now. Obst gets away from one tackle, doesn't get away from Knox, but gets inside the 20. Leigh, desperate measures here. That's a good pass, but it's missed, and Leigh will come up with the ball, and I think that's Whitehaven's last chance gone. Referee Klein says that's Leigh's ball. Leigh will play this set of 6 out. Won't want to make any mistakes here, and I'm sure there will be a booming kick into the Whitehaven half. Willie Swan runs at the offside player, Craig Walsh, laughs at him as he does it. Walsh has no choice but to tackle him. Willie Swan gets the penalty. I don't think Whitehaven have enough time. It's sad for Whitehaven to lose this game. Whitehaven could and should have won it, had the chance. Leigh gave them the chance, but in the end, Leigh are now on attack. No, do Leigh have time? No, that's the final hooter, and Leigh are in the final. Whitehaven had the chance, couldn't quite do it. Darren Abram runs onto the pitch, congratulates all his players, and that, in the end, is an undeserved win for Leigh, but Leigh are in the final. And the score finished Whitehaven 30, Leigh 34. Leigh in the final, don't deserve it. Leigh don't deserve to win this match, but have done. And a final reminder of the scoreline here at Whitehaven. It finished Leigh 30, Leigh 34. Please join us again next week when Leigh will entertain Batley at the the Coliseum.
Keep savouring this. That was good play, that. Dennis, I'd have been winding that good up all the match, me.
I keep my hand on the